Jupiter is the largest and most massive planet of all. Imagine that this is Jupiter, and these are all the other planets. As you can see, they look small beside Jupiter. Huge, huh? Here is my fellow friend, Andrea Cantero.
Good morning, and thanks all of you for watching OSDN. I want to give thanks to my friend Raquel for letting me be here today. And to start with, I want to share some facts about Jupiter too. As all of you know, Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun and the first of the giant planets. Jupiter's diameter is 11.2, while Earth's is 1.1 kilometers. Jupiter's period of revolution in Earth's day is 0.41. Average distance from the Sun is 779 million kilometers. Overall, Jupiter has more than 63 moons. And some interesting fact, if you one day want to go to the moon, to space, the weight of a person who is 100 lb on Earth will be 214 lb on Jupiter. Can you imagine that? Now, Raquel, I've heard that there have been some visits to the planet Jupiter. Do you know something about it?
Yes, Andrea. In fact, I do. Jupiter was first visited by Pioneer 10 in 1973. And later by Pioneer 11. Voyage 2 and Ulysses. Also, the spacecraft Galileo orbited Jupiter for 8 Earth years. Jupiter is still observed by the Hubble Space Telescope. But do you know something about the structure? Because I have no idea about that.
Yes, Raquel, I can surely help you with that. I know very much about Jupiter's structure. To let you know, Jupiter's structure, like other giant planets, has a very dense core of rock and iron at the center, surrounded by a thick mantle of liquid hydrogen and helium. Compared to the pressure of Earth's surface, the pressure of Jupiter's core is estimated to be about 30 million times greater. And I've also heard that there are magnetic fields which I don't know much detail about. Do you know some about them?
Well, Andrea, I surprisingly do. Jupiter has a huge magnetic field, much stronger than Earth's. Its magnetosphere extends more than 650 million kilometers. We have not talked about Jupiter's atmosphere. Can you tell us something about it?
Yes, sure. Jupiter's atmosphere is very thick, mainly of hydrogen and helium. A very interesting fact about Jupiter is that it has a great red spot, which is a storm larger than Earth. The storm's whirling winds blow very hard and make it very similar to a hurricane. However, in Earth's hurricanes warm out as they touch land, but in Jupiter there is no land for the storm to pass. This is the biggest and most immense storm of all times. It started in the mid-1600s and it doesn't have a plan to end soon. After talking about the atmosphere, I want to ask you something, Raquel. I know that Saturn has rings, but do you know if Jupiter has?
Yes, Andrea, it actually does, even if they aren't seen as clearly as Saturn's, but it has the rings. Its rings are composed mainly of the dust particles ejected from some of the smaller Jupiter's worlds during impact from incoming comet and asteroids. The rings start about 92,000 kilometers above Jupiter and end more than 225,000 kilometers. They are between 2,000 to 12,500 kilometers thick. Another thing Jupiter has revolving it are 4 major moons. Its moons are Io, Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. Besides these 4 moons, Jupiter has dozens of additional moons orbiting.
Oh, really? Can you please explain me more about the 4 moons?
Sure, Andrea.
Thank you, Raquel.
The first moon is Io. The volcanoes of Io give off sulfur. The sulfur shows up as yellows, oranges, and greenish, which makes Io the most colorful moon. After Io comes Europa. Europa is the smoothest object in the solar system. Its crust is frozen, but a liquid ocean might lay beneath the crust.
And do you know it was believed that there was life in Europa?
Really?
Yes.
Thank you for the fact.
You're welcome.
Next comes Ganymede. It's the largest moon in the solar system. It is even bigger than Mercury and Pluto. 1/3 of its surface is covered by ice. It may have a salt ocean, like ours. And last but not least is Callisto moon. It is more heavily cratered than any other object in the solar system. There are many large cracks in the surface due to the impacts of meteors. Scientists think that Callisto has a frozen ocean beneath the crust. Well, enough about the moons. Let's talk about the planets. Jupiter is the fourth brightest object in the solar system. Only the Sun, our moon, and Venus are brighter. It is one of the 5 planets visible to the naked eye from Earth. Jupiter has the shortest day of all the planets. It turns on its axis once every 9 hours and 55 minutes. Jupiter orbits the Sun every 11.8 Earth years. To finish off, we have Andrea to talk more about Jupiter's profile.
Jupiter's planet profile. Its mass is 1,898,130,000 and 3 other sets of zeros. Billion. Equatorial diameter is 142,984 kilometers. Its polar diameter is 133,709 kilometers. Known satellites are 67, and orbit distance is 778,340,821 kilometers. Surface temperature is negative 108 Celsius.
Thank you all for watching today's OSDN, which means
Outer Space
Daily News.
Join us tomorrow for facts about the new dwarf planet Pluto. We hope you learned something about today, the amazing Jupiter, and we hope you like and enjoy our special surprise. Now, I need to do a call.
Hello?
Don't forget!
I won't. Café El Indio, el mejor café en Centroamérica. ¡Adiós!